basically took my whole life for me to experiment with all these different hairstyles, try all these different techniques before I got to the point of loving my hair where I am today. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or to it. This is the first time you are seeing my face. Thank you for clicking on it. My name is Jacy, and you must want to hear all about my hair. So I haven't always rocked my curls. In fact, I have had a pretty tumultuous relationship with my hair all the way from birth till now. I've hated my hair, I've experimented with my hair, I have taken a natural hair journey, and I've grown to love my hair. And I kind of wanted to tell you guys about my natural hair journey, as well as show us some of the funny photos of all the times where I didn't know what to do with my hair. Some of these photos are really low quality because I had to pull them off of Facebook. But what's also interesting about these photos is you'll kind of see all of my weight fluctuations too, which is interesting. Might have to do a video on my weight loss journey as well. But if you like videos like this or hanging out with me and want to know more about all of the things I'm up to in LA and some of my other story times, make sure to like this video and subscribe because it's free. And then you get to hang out with me every week. And isn't that just so fun? I think it is. But with that being said, let's get started on my natural hair journey and how I've grown to come to these curls. All right, I'm off to the side so I can show you some of my photos, and if you see me on my phone, it's because I'm also looking at these photos for reference. So starting off with my childhood, when I was just a young girl, I did have curly hair. However, it wasn't very tight ringlets. It was kind of a looser curl pattern, but still curly nonetheless. This is also proof that I was a natural blonde at some point in my life. I still am, totally. Don't worry about that. And my hair was kind of difficult to manage. I wouldn't say it was fully ethnic African-American hair, but it was definitely a little bit harder to manage. And I actually did a video on TikTok. It's my most viral video ever, where I kind of made fun of these hairstyles that I used to do. Some where I had to get really creative with my hairstyles. Other times I would use fake hair pieces just to give a little pizzazz. And then of course the infamous one is this straightened hairstyle. I'd also like to clear the air and set the record straight. I asked for this. All the comments on that TikTok are really mean towards my mom. People called it abuse, saying that she did that to my hair and didn't take the time to learn my hair. I asked for it to be straightened on picture day. She took me to a hairstylist who had mixed kids of her own. She did my hair, but by the time I got to school, the humidity just got to it and it made me look like gossamer. But that was just for one day, so wanted to clear the air. But it goes to show that I kind of experimented with fun hairstyles during this age just so I could kind of manage my curls. And then every now and then I would wear it pretty long with, again, those more loose ringlets, which I'm actually pretty surprised my hair could grow that long because this is the length that it gets now. And then if I didn't wear my hair like this, my party trick was actually afroing out my hair, and a lot of people love to do that. I remember going to slumber parties, and part of the activity was picking out my hair into this afro. And if I didn't do this afro, I would do what I call a fronytail, which is an afro ponytail. I don't know, my brother came up with that word. But those were just some of my hairstyles in my youth to kind of manage the curls. Then we get into middle school, and middle school is so funny because I guess I gave up on the creative hairstyles and I went with two hairstyles and two hairstyles only. The first is what I call the rhino. Do you guys remember where you'd take like your bangs, this front section of your hair, and just pump it up and bobby pin it so you had this weird unicorn horn? That's all I did for some reason. I would just straighten kind of the area of my hair that framed my face, and I would do this rhino look, and I'd call it a day and be like, yes, I am a fashionista style icon. And looking back now, oof, that's a tough look. The other hairstyle that I would do would be this twisted bang style. Pretty much every photo from this part of my life was just this hairstyle. I would take my hair, twist my bangs, and then do some sort of bun. It was easy to manage, it kept the hair out of my face, and it was a little bit more stylish than just throwing my hair into a bun. The other reason I did this was because I was insistent on having bangs, even though I never wore the bangs, so I had to do the rhino or I had to do the twist just to keep them out of my face. I don't know, a lot of weird choices were made during this era, but these were the only two hairstyles in any of the photos I ever saw during this age. Then we get to high school, and that's when I started to really look at my peers, look at all the girls that all the boys liked, and that's when I started my era of straightening my hair. I straightened my hair every single day for nearly all 4 years of high school. I would wake up at 5 in the morning, turn on VH1, watch all the cool music videos, and literally sizzle my hair and burn it to the point where the fire alarms were going off in my room. Straightening my hair took about 2.5 hours from start to finish, but the trade-off was that I could keep my hair straightened for about a week, kind of just touching it up with the straightener. So you can bet your bottom dollar my hair felt like hay. It felt like a straw man that could have broken off easily, and it actually did. It was super unhealthy, super dry, and a big part of that was because I wasn't conditioning it because I was trying to preserve the straightenedness for the whole week. But unfortunately for me, that was the beauty standard that I saw. That was what I was being surrounded by. And that's what the boys liked, you know? They didn't like curly hair, and I didn't really know how to manage my curly hair. So I'd look at all the popular people, all the pretty people, and I kind of felt inclined to straighten my hair just to keep up with being pretty. Which is really unfortunate because I'd love to go back and shake Jacy by the shoulders and be like, embrace your curls. They're more unique, they're beautiful. But I just did not, because not only did I like straightening my hair and I liked the look of it, but it was also, again, easier to manage. I could just touch up every morning and keep that hairstyle for up to a week. Now, around this time is when I started experimenting with color. So these next photos aren't necessarily like in the same age range, but I wanted to show all the times I've dyed my hair and all the interesting colors. So the first time I ever dyed my hair, it was this bright red, and I really liked it. I thought it was kind of fun, and I was very loyal to box dyes for many, many years because I was too cheap to go to salons, which is actually true still to this day, so that sounds about right. But I dyed my hair like an unnatural shade of red during the fall because that's what you do. And then when it becomes summertime, you're supposed to dye your hair super light. So that's when I dyed my hair like bleach blonde. And again, this is like, I bleached my hair at home and then did this awful box dye, and it just came out like almost yellow. Not an appealing look, and not something I should have done on my own. But then of course, when I'm over the blonde and it's fall time and I want to have darker hair, I dyed my hair black one time, and this picture is really funny because you could see how fried my bangs are, not only from straightening it every day, but also doing a really crappy job of dyeing my hair and putting my hair through so much trauma. But I did actually like the black hair a lot because to me it made my eyes pop and I felt like a secret agent. So I didn't mind the black hair. But my default was to dye my hair brown. As I got older, this became closer to the natural color that was growing out of my roots. So to give my hair a break, I would dye it brown and let the natural roots grow out. But you can still see that my bangs are super fried. I had to cut my hair short just to keep a little bit of health to it. But those are some of the colors that I dyed my hair just to kind of experiment and change up my look a little bit. Then we get to college, and in college is when I decided to cut my hair really short for a multitude of reasons. One, it was getting really unhealthy. As you saw in the high school photos, my hair was really long, but the ends, you guys, it was split end city. I could break my hair off that I was like, let me cut this short and kind of start over. I also did this because I was going to college and kind of wanted to reinvent myself. And the funny part is I actually wanted a really cool, dramatic, badass bob. However, when I went to go get my hair cut, I guess this time I went to a salon, they warned me against it because they said, you have curly hair. If you want to just not straighten your hair and put it up into a bun, it's going to be too short. It's not going to work. And if you decide to wear your hair curly, it's not going to be the same shape as if you were to wear it straight. So if you cut your hair into a bob, you have to commit to straightening it every day and styling it. And in college, that might not be what you want when you're going to class every day and taking naps twice a day. So because of that, I got talked out of like that really cool bob, and I just cut my hair really short. I didn't love this era of my hair, so I let it grow out a little bit because if I couldn't do the dramatic bob, I didn't want it to be short. So I tried growing it out again, but they were correct in the fact that during most of my college years, I did just wear it up. I did just throw it in a bun, and I was still a server, so I had to keep my hair up anyway. So this era of my hair was just short, but still straight. So this photo is from my 21st birthday, and this was around the time where I kind of would get out of the shower, look in the mirror and be like, wait a second, I have curly hair. Maybe I should start wearing my hair like this. You know, again, my hair was a little bit shorter, but I liked the look of coming out of the shower and seeing those loose ringlets. Now, what's funny about this photo is you can see that most of my head has those curls, but my bangs were fried. And that's because I would just straighten my bangs a lot and put the rest of my hair up and consider that a hairstyle. So a lot of my curls were kind of coming into formation, but there were areas of my head that I called my dead curls, and that's because I murdered them. I murdered them with a straightener and they would just not curl. So this is when I started to educate myself on how to do curly hair. How can I manage my curly hair when it is so dead? So I learned how to finger coil curls, which essentially means taking those dead curls and when it's wet, curling it with your finger, pressing it, and even sometimes bobby pinning it so that way it just holds that curl structure, even though it wasn't naturally that way. I looked into how often I should be conditioning my hair, what kind of products would work for my hair, and how to get big curly hair. And this was also the time where I was on Pinterest going, I could get hair like that. I think that's my hair texture, but it's just not healthy like that. But I think that's where I want it to go. So in my 20s is the era that I call the big chop. Again, I was doing research into what my hair could be, how to take care of it, and what I learned is that I would have to commit to a natural hair journey. So for me, what that meant was committing to never straightening it again, which this is gonna sound so dramatic, but I kind of grieved the idea. I wasn't excited about it. I wasn't like, okay, yeah, I could do that. I was like, wait, this is my crutch. This is something that I would use to feel beautiful, to straighten my hair, and to get that kind of beauty standard that I was so used to. So I was a little bit scared by the idea, but again, I had been practicing with my curls and I was like, no, I can get to this point, let's do it. However, what I learned and what you saw based on those previous photos was that my hair was not healthy. It was dead, and even though I was taking care of the roots, it was growing out to the point where all my roots would be curly and then the ends would have a different curl pattern and would look awful. So that's when I had to take the big chop. I had to cut my hair really, really short and kind of start over. So for my birthday one year, I asked my parents for my gift to be this expensive haircut. I went to a curly hair specialist who claimed to be an expert in diva cuts. Diva cuts are where you cut the hair based on your curl patterns instead of the traditional way where they would kind of cut it wet and shape it that way. But if that were to happen, it would kind of puff up and not be the shape that I wanted. So I knew this would be an expensive haircut, but I knew it would kind of get me on the right foot in starting this natural hair journey. So I went to this person and she didn't really do a diva cut. She ended up brushing out all of my hair and cutting it that way, but that's not how my hair would have landed. That's not how my hair would have been styled. So I was actually really disappointed in this haircut, and it resulted in this. Let's take a moment to look at this photo. I hated my hair. I thought I made a huge mistake, but she kind of ensured me that this isn't what my hair is going to look like. This was the foundation for getting the shape that I wanted it to be and keeping my hair healthy. So she said I just have to kind of trust the process. But it was also during this time that my confidence was at an all-time low. I hated my haircut. I've never had my hair that short, but this was also the heaviest that I have ever been. And what's really unfortunate about this time is I barely have any photos during this time because I didn't feel beautiful, I wasn't confident, I didn't want my photo to be taken. So this is truly one of the only photos that I had during this big chop era, as well as the heaviest that I had been. But this is where I discovered one of my other loves in life, and that was wigs. I hated my hair. I didn't want to wear my hair anyway. I couldn't do any fun hairstyles, or at least that I didn't try. So I tried doing wigs, and I had so much fun with wigs because not only could I switch up my look, but I could also feel beautiful and feel confident and have that long, luxurious straight hair that I was so used to without causing any damage to my natural hair. And continuing on that natural hair journey was so important to me that I didn't feel inclined to start straightening my hair all of a sudden. I was like, wait, the wigs are doing the job without damaging my hair. This is a win-win. I have also done a video on some of my wigs, and it's funny because I thought that was the direction of where my channel would go, would be kind of all hair kind of styling tips. But I do have one wig video if you guys want to go check that out. And so the wigs were working because I saw my hair growing out and kind of taking shape as my hairstylist had told me it would. And I was starting to gain my confidence back, and I was starting to feel very optimistic about this hair journey. However, one other obstacle that was really keeping me from super healthy curls was the fact that I was still box dyeing it blonde. Don't do that, you guys. Actually, who am I to talk? I still dye my own hair, but it's not box dye, okay? It's different. Anyway, moving on, I decided to dye my hair back to brown because again, that was more of my natural hair color. So that way I can just let the roots grow out and still have it kind of be all in a similar color without having to damage it by coloring it. And this is when my hair was the healthiest it's ever been. Yes, even more healthy than my hair is now. I saw ringlets. I saw volume. I saw a hair texture that I would have never expected my hair to achieve, especially compared to some of those photos where I was first like, wow, I have curly hair. This is cool. It got big, it got voluminous, but it also had that curl definition that this was the first time I was proud of my hair and all the work that I had put into it. Now, from this haircut and style all the way to this healthy brown hair curls was about 2 years difference. So that's not a lot of growth in 2 years, but the fact that it was growing but shrinking in terms of ringlets and healthy hair, it was so worth it, and I was really proud of taking that step, of taking that natural hair journey. And then I realized I don't like brown hair anymore. I loved my brown hair at the time because, again, the darker my hair is, the more I feel like my eyes pop and the more mysterious I feel. But I just feel like myself when I'm a blonde. I feel like it's the most authentic me. So that's when I started to dye my hair back to blonde. I did learn the proper process on how to do it. I did learn how hairstylists accomplish this without doing a cheap Garnier Fructis box dye from Walgreens. And I feel more confident and more beautiful than ever. However, I just do want to tack this on that I think my hair would be a lot healthier if I didn't dye my hair. I do take the time to only dye my roots and my roots only, so that way when it grows out, I'm never touching this hair again with dye. But if you want healthier hair, don't dye your hair. But if you want to just dye your hair and be beautiful in whatever color makes you feel the most confident, do that too, and just use a lot of hair conditioning masks. And that brings us to today times where I love my hair. I'm so glad I went on this journey. I still have my faults with my hair. Like I mentioned, I do dye my hair blonde, so that prevents it from being the most healthy it can be. I cut my own hair, and sometimes I cut it too short. I cut it recently, and I also thought I did it too short in a weird shape, but it's still part of the learning process. So I want to emphasize that even though I feel like I accomplished my hair journey, I am still learning. I am still educating myself on certain products, ingredients, and techniques to do my hair, but it makes me appreciate my hair more and really learned how to embrace my curly hair. I really wanted to make this video because I am now on the side of things that I never want to straighten my hair again. I want to be that person that encourages you to wear your curly hair for special events, for picture days, weddings, the red carpet, any sort of special event. I would love to see more curly hair girls embracing their curls and not feeling the need to straighten their hair for special occasions. I of course, think curly hair is beautiful. I am so grateful for my hair because it makes us unique. It makes us who we are. And I'm really glad that I've gotten to this point where I can love my hair and take fun photos like this. But that's gonna be it for my hair journey and all of the hairstyles I have had in my life. It got really bright towards the end there on me, but I think the pictures spoke for themselves. I will leave down below a link to my hair, beauty, and body playlist in case you guys wanna know more specifics on how I do my hair, some things on wigs, how I cut my own hair, how I dye my own hair, all that jazz in case you're interested. But the overarching theme of this video is if you have curly hair, embrace it. Take the time to learn how to work with your hair, to learn the products, to figure out what haircut might work for you, and to really, really embrace your curls because I've mentioned this before, but it makes us unique, it makes us beautiful, and you're just gonna feel so much more authentic in your true form. I don't know, it's gonna make me emotional, but I've been posting a lot of curly hair things on like Facebook and Instagram, and I have people reaching out to me saying, thank you for having this platform where people can not only embrace their curls, but having their daughters who are mixed, where they're not sure what to do with their hair, or how to embrace their hair, or how to embrace being mixed, that I'm able to provide that kind of insight, those tips, but also show that it's gonna be okay. You can embrace your curls and be beautiful in just who you are. And so I kind of really wanted to continue doing that, and I'm really happy to be doing this video. But I will stop being sappy. I feel like I cry in every video. I'm a crier, okay? But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to hang out with me in the future. But I will see you guys in the next one. Toodles! All right, let me scoot off to the side. Too far. Oh my gosh. Out of focus. All right, can you see me? All right, let's rock and roll.